You say like the day that unemployment wants out. What that day, that same day, what was life for you?
Anxiety, stress, fear, loneliness, isolation, at times embarrassment. Those are
Embarrassment to what? Or because of what?
embarrassment of not being able to provide for yourself. And because the book is talking about the space where the resources run out, you're talking potentially from a standpoint where you've already borrowed money from friends, family. And so the book is about gaining the tools to help yourself and to dig out of that hole without losing hope by creating accessible information in a just very practical, succinct way. Not to be a heavy read, but just a guide, a GPS of how to go from here to back to thriving.
Okay. There is something that I point out, and I'm gonna read it out loud for the people. You mentioned in your book, follow up on your application. Once your application is submitted, stay proactive by following up on its status. This may involve contacting the relevant agencies or department to inquire about the process of your application, why it is important.
Right. So you're referring to chapter 1, which is about navigating government resources like unemployment, Medicaid, food stamps, and things like that. So we have to realize that those agencies get thousands of applications, and you don't want your application to get delayed or lost or rejected due to misinformation. So following up, one big theme in the book is advocating for yourself. So following up that way shows that you want to make sure that just a quick response time can get your application to move ahead so that you don't delay the resources that's available to you.
Okay, you did identify in the book few networks, and you basically beg people to stay connected,
Correct.
and be around those networks.
Mhm.
So, in what way that was beneficial for you, and why you want viewers to address that or take that into consideration?
Well, community is very important. It's for not feeling alone, knowing you're not alone, going to spaces that are empathetic, and networking also can be a way to allow other people now to advocate for your situation. It allows you not to just focus on yourself, even though you're in hardship. It gives you those moments where you could see others, they in turn see you and your situation. It's very important for your mental health. I listened to one of your previous podcasts that talked about grief. And now reflecting back, it helped me to understand what I was going through during that time. Because in that episode, you and the guest talked about different types of grief, and there's the death grief and there's the non-death grief, right? And so a non-death grief, unemployment can fall into that category.
Exactly.
So you still go through the same similar symptoms of the grieving process: denial, disillusionment, anger. And then hopefully at some point you can get to acceptance, right? So because you're in a state of grief, because you've lost not a person, but you've lost status, you've lost, sometimes for some people, they may feel like their dignity is lost during your self-confidence. So you're grieving some of that loss in terms of what you imagine your life to be. So the community of others helps with that process, where you get to see that you're not alone. It's just your circumstance, but there's nothing wrong with you specifically, right? And you get to see that through community.
And I'm so